Ladies, your applauses are not so loud, so we need massive applause to Maky.
Thank you so much.
She traveled from US here, so massive applauses.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Today, we have a very special guest, a woman whose story inspires everyone to believe that the impossible can be possible. Maky, you're one of the most influential women in global biotech. Now you are Forbes-listed self-billionaire. Ladies, again, Forbes-listed self-billionaire. And from surviving the Iranian Revolution to becoming a Forbes-listed self-made billionaire. It's huge. It's huge.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now you continue to shape modern medicine through innovation, leadership, and resilience. You were born in Tehran and grew up during the Iranian Revolution. And war times, I guess, had shaped you extremely good because your results speak for themselves. Later, you moved to Europe, faced a new culture, and started a completely new life. When you think about your childhood, very difficult one, the war, leaving your homeland, adjusting to new places, what qualities did you develop then that help you become a strong leader today?
First of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for all of you to be here. As Mila mentioned, being and having a childhood in Iran during the war and revolution was not an easy time for anyone, and especially when you are a kid. I was 8, 9 years old when revolution happened, and around 10 to 11 years old when the war between Iran and Iraq happened. And to be honest, I do not wish to anyone to go through this period of time because all of the time you're trying to hide in a basement, you're listening to the sounds of the bombardment, you don't know what's happened, what's going on around you, what's going on to your neighbors and the families that they lost their kids, their parents, and their loved one. So what's happened in this period of time, really, again, I do not wish to anyone to go through that, but this period of time really shaped my life and shaped who I am today, which is I fight, and I went, and I never give up in my life. But thank you. Thank you. But one of my main quality is my inner drive for excellence, my competitiveness for excellence. Not comparing yourself to someone else, not trying to go against somebody else, but I always compete with myself. I try to always go above my limit. And I can say that allow me to create a lot of things, a lot of good things, and I achieve a lot of things in my life because I always put the bar high. But when I go back and I see what's happened in Iran, growing in Iran, growing from one country to another, one challenge after the others, life taught you to be more in the survival mode, to adapt yourself, and really rise above any limit. But what has really defined me is the resilience, and that you go to every single challenge, and you accept the challenge, and you do everything possible to make it go right. That's who I am.
You began your journey as a pediatric dentist in France, caring for vulnerable patients as you were before. But eventually you felt that helping one person at a time wasn't enough. You wanted to make a bigger difference, change the system. That's why you decided to pursue an MBA and transition into business, from being a doctor, a dentist, to a business. A decision that not many doctors make. What was the turning point that made you realize you wanted to impact not just few lives, but millions?
So going a little bit back, after Iran, I left Iran and at the age of 11, and I went to Germany to pursue my life in Germany. Actually, my parents were back and forth between Iran and Germany, and my sister went to France to pursue their medical study. And during the period of Germany as well, I started to learn new languages, new culture. And once I finished my high school, my dad said, look, you have to go to France, to where your family is, and you have to live with your sister. That was another big move in my life, because I had to go back to a new challenge, to a new culture, to new languages. So I went to France to study my medical and dental school. As my sisters, one of them is cardiologist, the other is gynecologist, the other is endocrinologist, all of the family being in the medical field, my mom said, look, you have to go to dentistry. So I just said, okay, it's shorter time, it's good for a woman, a stability, you can have a family, and I just said, okay, I went to dentistry. I finished my dental school. My subspecialty is pediatric dentistry. And for very, very sick children, I treat patients, autistic patients, cancer patients, handicapped patients. And during this period of time, you ask a lot of questions. You ask yourself, why? Why these kids, they look like that? They are, I mean, you ask yourself, what is the normality? For me, they were not normal kids. And the reality, for them, that was their normal life. But more I thought about all of this moment that I was in pediatric dentistry, I just thought it's something else. Something else is my instinct, push me to something different, bigger than just being in the dentistry and trying to see how you can help these patients, the root, the cause of the disease. So what happened was, so I believe a lot in life. Everything in life happened for a reason. If you are in the present time, if you really look, you see a lot of sign along the way in front of your journey, your life, and a lot of opportunity. The question is, at this moment of time, how you are willing to grab each one of these signs, or accepting some of these challenges that they bring you to the next opportunity in your life. So at this moment of time, I just said, look, I believe it's something else that's waiting for me. So I decided to leave dentistry and joining a medical business. And because I knew at this moment of time is not just the healthcare industry is unfortunately, no matter how technology is moving, we are still behind of a lot of treatments, and especially in my field, curing the cancer. So as you say, every patient counts, every person counts. And at this moment of time, I could have realized one day I can really help thousands of patients in the cancer therapy. But I moved to the new opportunity, and that was the chapter of my business into the healthcare. Thank you.
Then a new chapter began in your life. You joined the computer motion team, which in 2001 executed the first ever telesurgery between New York and Strasbourg. That was a groundbreaking moment that symbolized the future of medicine, and you were part of this team. What was it like to be a part of a team that was ahead of its time? And how did your idea of time compression, I really like it, the idea of time compression, how did this idea of time compression, the ability to shorten the gap between idea and action and its implementation, emerge?
So now I'm in my life. I finished dentistry, and as I said, everything happened for a reason. A friend of my sister actually, came in France, and at this moment of time, she was working with a company of robotic surgery. It was the new revolution into the surgical world. And because I was in Strasbourg, my sister, they were all in the hospital. We were in the different department of the hospital. Just said, look, you know everybody, you speak 4 languages. Do you want to come and work with us? At this moment of time, my dad was really upset. Just for him I was a woman. I was working in dentistry, easy life, stability. Now you're going to join business life. And I just say, you know what? This is really what I want to do. And I just said, look, Dad, I would just do it for 3 months. They accept. I will accept any job in this field. and I will see how everything will go. I just say, okay, under condition that you get your MBA. I just say, okay, education, always talk in a Middle Eastern country, so you have to be either doctor or medical doctor or lawyers or somebody. It just is, I just said, okay. I did my MBA, and at the same time, I accept this challenge of the company named Computer Motion for medical robotics. And actually, I can say that was at this moment of time when I started. It was the year 1997. It was very hard to change the paradigm and mindset of the physicians that you can do the surgery via robotics. And most challenging was a telesurgery and telerobotics. I remember in year 2000, I came to Dubai for the first time. Dubai was not the Dubai as I see it today. And I get to the airport, very small airport, but it was one of the most important messages in my life. It was on the wall. They say, welcome to the country with unlimited possibilities. And I said, wow. Thank you. And I said, wow, that is a big message. Welcome to the country with unlimited possibilities. So when I went back and the professor of the university, head of the surgical team, his name is Professor Maresco, very well known in this field of ERCAT, which is a research facility for all of the surgical and minimal invasive surgery. He came with an idea of we can do a telesurgery and robotic surgery, having a patient in France and the surgeon in New York. And at this moment of time, year 2001 started, I never forget, is they tried to do first animal cases. The animal was in France and the doctor in New York. They tried to collapse time, they tried to collapse the distance because every cut, every suture need a millisecond. It's not even, you have to be on time on that. So making the story short, we made it. We made the first robotic surgery in year 2001. And I remember that was during the 9/11 in September 7. And me and my sister, we were in New York a week before that. And when the surgery happened, and I was so tired, I wanted to get back home. And my sister looked at this Twin Tower and just said, hey, Maky, do you want that we go and visit the Twin Tower? I said, look, Masha, you know what? We have enough time. Right now, I'm a little bit tired. It always was there and it's going to be there. But as I always mention in life, you have to really grab the momentum because you never know what's going to happen. A week after that, when we came back from these procedures, the 9/11 happened, and that was really sad. But we couldn't be in all of the news of this momentum of surgical procedures. And I can say, last month I was here after 25 years being after this surgery. A lot of transatlantic operations happened, and it was nice to see you made it an impossible things. But going back to your question of collapsing time, collapsing time is actually a function of an action. If you believe in something, and if you believe, doesn't matter if the other people believe or not, you have to move fast. You have to make your decisions without no doubt, no reservation, no hesitations. And I have a philosophy in my business life. I always say, lead, follow, or get out of my way. Lead if you want to lead side by side with me. If you do not lead, but you trust me, then follow me. But if it's not one or another, just step aside. Do not slow me down. So this concept of collapsing time. Thank you. So the concept of collapsing time is the belief, is action, and unstoppable focus means that focus attention, massive action, and you can do anything that you want to by collapsing time and achieving your goal.
Massive actions.
Focus attention, massive action.
In 2008, you joined Pharmacyclics, a company that was nearly bankrupted. A few years later, under your leadership, it became $1 billion success because of a new drug that changed how blood cancer is treated. When you first joined, most people thought it was hopeless. What did you see back then that others didn't see in this company?
After computer motion and robotic surgery, I decided, and the company merged with one of the biggest company named Intuitive Surgical. Right now, today is a multi-billion US dollars market cap. And I wanted to go to investment world. I wanted to experience completely different things, which is investment in the companies, which is different than managing a company. When you manage a company, you do everything possible to make it go right. When you invest in a company, you try to figure it out, what's happening, what's going on. You shake the companies and see what is the most important thing in these companies. So during this period of time, I was looking on the different company. It was 100 company that I look at it, and I fall in love with this company named Pharmacyclics. At this moment of time, they have a drug that was for lung cancer, brain metastasis. And I went to my business partner and I just said, look, let's put money into the company. And he had a lot of money. He just said, you put money, I put money. That was the first time. I was very young. I was 30 years old. I just said, okay. He said, he puts money, I put money. He just said, you have to have a skin in the game. So at this moment of time, I had so much money. I didn't have a lot of money, but I just said, okay, I will do everything possible. I put everything in this company. The stock price was around $14 a share at this moment of time that we put the money. And 3 months later, the first drop of the stock to $9 a share. At this moment, I just said, okay, that is not funny. He has the right skin in the game, you know? And I was at the same time pregnant at this moment of time in 2006. And I just said, okay, what can I do? And the funniest on all of that was I was working a lot all the way. And I didn't really predict, and that is the difficulty for all of the women here. When you get pregnant, you don't know how to manage everything at the same time when you have an international work. I was very fortunate that I have my parents. So I remember I was pregnant 8.5 months. I was traveling a lot, so I ended up in Los Angeles for the last 4 weeks of my pregnancy. And I remember at this moment of time, I was very, very busy. I went, and some of the delegations of Europe came to Los Angeles. And I went to my gynecologist. I said, look, I have a meeting on Monday, and I'm pregnant. Nobody knows I'm pregnant. I have to get this baby out. My physician, gynecologist, said, you know what, Maky, I know that you're very busy and you're tired, but that is not the way that worked. I just said, okay. My sister is a gynecologist, and at this moment of time, I called, I just said, look, Ma should come and see how everything is going. She came, she looked at my belly, just said, this baby will not come in the next 4 weeks, so do not worry about it. I just said, look, I have a meeting. I just said, look, it's not going to happen. But she had to go back to France. She just came to see me for a few days. On this night, I had a lot of pain. I went to her, I have a lot of pain. Just said, okay, look, before I will go to France, let's go to see your gynecologist. We will do an echography, and if everything is okay, well, fine, I will go. If it's not, let's see what's happened, what's going on. So I went there, I did the echo. She couldn't listen to the sounds of the heart of the baby. And it was very weird. She went to my gynecologist and said, the baby has to come tonight, C-section. My gynecologist, American, say, not gonna happen. Just say, you have to do it. Just under condition you sign for all of the paperwork. So she signed it. On this night, they took the baby, C-section, and it was the best decision that she ever did, because if it was normal, natural delivery, I wouldn't be here, my son wouldn't be here. So I delivered the baby 2 days after that, 3 days after that. It was a Thursday. On Monday, I went to my work. and to travel without any in my belly, anything. Nobody even know that I ever had baby. So to tell you the challenges that I went along the way was not small during this company that we put money. And Pharmacyclics, after that, in 2008, I joined this company. I went to Europe, actually. I gave the baby to my mom, and my mom said, it's for 1 week or 18 years. I said, Mom, you figure it out. So the baby stayed with my parents for 5-6 years during this company, Pharmacyclics, which is an oncology company. And when I joined, the stock dropped to 7 cents a share. I lost a lot of things in this company at this moment of time, but I didn't sell the company, my stock. And during this period, I add more and more money into this company. And 4 years later, we brought the best drug into the market, the blockbuster drug for blood cancer into the market. A lot of patients after that, we could keep them for many, many, many years. And for sure, I can say 4 years after that, a company with a 15 million market cap, we sold it for 21 billion. And that was the beginning of the company.
Wow. And by the way, main heroes of your story, your sister, your mom, your not-so-baby boy, they're all here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. In 2015, AbbVie bought Pharmacyclics, your company, for $21 billion. One of the biggest deals in biotech history till now, $21 billion. But behind the numbers, there were many years of effort, risks, and trust in the team. How did you feel on the day the deal was completed?
Actually, it was a really mixed feeling. For one hand, after 4 or 5 years of working in the C-suite and as an executive into this company, and after so many years of investment in a company, the moment that we sold the company was the best time of the company. Everything was perfect, and we planned the company for the next 5 years. But in the reality I just realized for 2 reasons it was the right time to sell the company. One of them was that we needed a bigger company to help us to bring this drug in the hand of many, many patients around the world. And that was the right things to do, to sell it to a big pharma. It was a lot of patients at this moment of time, if it's in Europe, Africa, around the world. For me, it was very difficult because it's like a child. You work so hard to bring this company from nothing with my partner to the level of really blockbuster drug for blood cancer patients. It was an oral therapy that the patients didn't needed to take chemo or radiations on the first level. But making the story short, that was the moment that I just say, we have to move on. We have to give more this drug to the other patients, and we sold the company. But it was very difficult to let it go, but for other hand, happy and grateful that you can help more and more patients. And that was one of the reasons. And the second, for sure, at this moment of time, when I sold the company, I needed a little bit time as well with my son, who was for years with my mom, not 1 week. And finally, he joined me from France to come to America. And it was a time that I just wanted to spend more time with him, because one day, during the time when I was with Pharmacyclics, I remember I went home. And it's 2 incidents, actually. One of them was that I went home. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a lot of meetings. And he was, 8, 9 years old. I came, I saw him behind of the window. And I just said, Sean, why you are still awake? Why you didn't go to sleep? I said, Mom, I know that you are busy. I'm going to pack, and I'm leaving home to go to a family that they are loving me. And do not worry, it's a lot of pictures. You can look at them and think about me, and I'm always going to love you. So he went to his room, he took his suitcase, put all of everything there, and opened the door. It was dark. I was sitting on the step in my home. I just said, okay, that's not going to happen. He went outside, he looked, it was dark, it was rainy. And then he came back. He said, you know what? This time I will accept your apologize. I will stay home, but I will see you next time. I said, okay. 2 years after, I had Sean and all of his kids, all of his friends in my car. It was a Christmas time. And I asked all of the kids, what do you like for Christmas? One say, I want my iPad, the other iPhone, the other whatever, bicycle. I said, Sean, what do you want? Just said, Mom, I want to buy your time. I said, okay, you want to buy my time. And at this moment of time, no matter how high you are as an executive, no matter where you are in your professional life, at this moment of life, you realize how important is the people that they are around you, and you cannot see them. And that was the moment I just said, I need to break and I need to pause.
It's sincere, very sincere. Thank you. Ladies are crying. Today, your net worth is estimated at $1.5 billion. Pretty much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I must say that this didn't happen only by chance, but because of your smart choices, because you took a lot of risks, responsibilities. We need to understand what is your pattern of success, or successful pattern, it doesn't matter.
You know what? Billions is just numbers. You open your account, 20 become 30 to 40, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I never follow money. I always follow building something, creating some things, and money always follow. So what that means, creating something or building something? Everybody at the end, and that is my philosophy, everybody in life will be successful. The question is, what is your limit, or how successful you want to be in your life? I always put my limit very, very high. I always put the goal very, very high. I really always wanted to win a championship game. That is why I always hire people that they were willing to play a championship game and not just a game. And these companies that I was there, if it was Pharmacyclics, if it was Summit, which I will talk a little bit later about this company after that we sold Pharmacyclics, all of them, they were all for sure in a cancer therapy. If the first one was in a blood cancer, the second one right now that I'm a chief executive officer is in the lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, many other cancer. But when you look at it, we build the company. By building company, you are bringing top people, great product, and you do everything possible to make it go right. You have to have a right vision, a right mission. And for me, in my life, it was not about the money, it was the impact that I could have in life of so many, many patients. So I believe the pattern on the successful story is building something, creating some things, and money will follow. Depend where in your life you put the bar.
I share the same idea. Money will follow. Money will follow, definitely. Your motto is take responsibility and capability will follow. You faced tough times, including business problems and the personal challenge, a cancer. How did this illness change the way you see leadership and success? What did you learn about yourself and people's strength during this time?
You know what is, again, I said everything in life happened for a reason. God has a different plan for me, I believe, after that I sold Pharmacyclics, which I never knew why. I went to oncology and cancer company. Later on, I got my answer. One of the one was that my father got a cancer, but a blood cancer. And the only way that I could bring him in some level to remission was with our own product. And that was really interesting to just see all these years that you were working in the cancer therapy in these specific indications, and you could help your own father at this moment of time. But the second on all that was that while I was in Pharmacyclics and now in my company, Summit Therapeutic, it was always looking at the cancer patients, and as a drug developers, you're trying to bring the best drug in the hand of patients, more efficacious, more safety, less toxicity. But till you will not get a cancer, you never know what that means, having a cancer. And during the period that I was as a business person in this cancer therapy, I always say, I'm bringing all of the best innovation in the hand of the patient, and still it's very hard to put the patient into the clinical trials. But the day that I got my own cancer, I just realized that is not an easy game. And that is why I just say, perhaps everything happened for a reason. I should get the cancer to feel cancer patients, to feel their hope, what that means, just surviving one more month, one more day, how you can bring the best product in their hand that give you the quality of life. It's about 50 years. No matter how much money we are putting behind of cancer therapy, we still didn't cure cancer. We still, if it's the AI, if it's all of this technology, we are still at the mercy of chemotherapy and radiation. We are trying to bring the innovative drug, but especially in solid tumors, which is a lung cancer, breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, we are far away on that part. For sure, every time I see my patient, I just say, you know what, 2% chance is not 0%. We are going to fight, keep your attitude, keep your hope, and we are going somehow, some way, we are going to make it go right. And that was the moment that I just realized, you know what, I was very sick, by the way, and it was during the COVID, actually, on top of all of that, I got COVID. And I remember my sister and my parents, they came to see me and to be with me. And we went to the hospitals, and the hospitals during COVID just was a big shield. If you are sick, do not come in the hospital. I said, okay. That's interesting, because during COVID, we couldn't go to the hospital. During COVID, we couldn't have, I was lucky that I could continue to have my treatment in the chemotherapy. But a lot of people didn't have a chance on that part. And I can say how all of this company helped me, and moving or opposite, cancer helped me to lead my other company, which is Summit Therapeutic, is the fact that now I do the drug developments with my team differently. We are going with standard of care. We are giving the patients different opportunity, different collaborations with a different drug to extend their life, to give them better quality of life. But cancer was not easy. It was not easy, I have to admit. And I have to say one more thing. What has hurt me a little bit in this life and humanity is we, in our company, we are trying to put $1 billion to bring a drug in the hand of patients. In this specific company, Summit Therapeutic, we started with a 250 million market cap 3 years ago. And now is over 15 billion market cap. And me, my partner, even my son invested in the company. We have 80% of this company. We are putting billions behind of this cancer therapy. What has hurt me a lot is when I look, and it doesn't matter if you are in the war of Iran, Iraq, Gaza, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, you will see billions of US dollars going behind of all of this bomb, and they need just one bomb. And that really hurt to see with one bomb, millions of people die, millions of people, they get some injury without hand, legs, eyes, whatever it is, millions of people losing their loved one. And we are trying to save one more day for a patient. So this contradiction in life is something that I still, thank you, trying to understand.
That's the sad truth of our civilization. Maybe one day we women will change it. Right, ladies?
I believe we will. I believe we will. Life is not video game.
Your book, The Magic of Normal, has been described as the manifesto on inner freedom and gratitude. It explores how to stay true to yourself. Yeah, this is the book, by the way. True to yourself when everything is crumbling. What is the magic of normal?
During my cancer, and again, I'm a very driven person. I always have to work. I have to do some things. So when I got my cancer, I just said, okay, I cannot stay home, COVID there, you cannot go out. So my sister was there, everybody else home. I just, okay, why not to write a book? And it was a friend of mine who long time wanted to write my biography, my life. But then I just said, okay, why not to write a book about my life, about what I did? And I put the title, The Magic of Normal. The magic of normal is your life, my life today, all of our life, the people in this audience. Your life is a normal, is you go every day, you do what you have to do, you have your kids, you have everything. Till one day, if something happened, in my case was my cancer, that this disrupt my normality of life. It was not, I was dependent to the hospital, to my chemotherapy. During COVID, I couldn't get out. I couldn't go to see my friends, to bring my son to school. And this normality, when it's disrupted, at this moment of time, you always wish to get back to your normal life. And that is, I call it the magic of normal. And I believe all of us, we experienced that during COVID when everything was stopped. And everybody with all of their masks and everything, they couldn't get out. Everybody wanted to go back after that is to their normality. The reality is when you look at the magic of normal after this kind of disruption, actually, you're searching for your inner peace, that you get back to your inner peace. And you realize no matter what's going to happen in your life, no matter how much challenges you're going to face, no matter how disappointment you're going to have, at the end of the tunnel is a light, and the light is you. That with your attitude, you can change everything and you can go beyond of all of the challenges that you have in life. So the magic of normal is all about my life as a person in the business world, in the cancer therapy, caregiver to my father who has a cancer, and myself with my cancer, and how you bring a company from nothing to the $21 billion exit 4 years after that.
So, Forbes named you one of America's richest women, and you appeared on the magazine's cover. You're a billionaire. It might seem like you achieved everything. What are your goals now?
It's very interesting questions because at the end of the day, yes, is actually I'm proud to see that. But at the end of the day, for me, again, my life just started because I gained a lot of experience. I achieved a lot of things. But in the reality, I still didn't come to the mission that I always had in the past 20 years, which is helping each individual in the field that I'm in the healthcare. Could be a cancer, could be Alzheimer, could be autistic kids, could be handicapped kids, whatever it is. So I believe with the new technology, with the AI, with understanding within the biology and everything, I can really come and help. And this billionaire status will help you to reinvest back, because at the end of the day is great numbers, but is how you can give back to the society and how you can help, the companies with a great mission and the vision. And I can say I still long way to go. Long way to go.
How does the life of a billionaire differ from the life of a just a wealthy individual. What is the difference? Tell us.
Believe to God is so interesting. You know what? After one moment of time, when you have money that is help you to, I can say, to live a good life, the rest is just is really do not change too much in the meaning of you, but what is change open a lot of opportunities to help. If it's a charitable work, if it's a philanthropic, if it's reinvesting in different companies, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, my partner, he has, 17 billion. Doesn't matter how much numbers, how much zero you have behind these numbers, but what is make a difference, what impact you're going to have. And I believe that is the most important things for me, at minimum. I'm a very simple girl.
When you first started your career, did you imagine that you'd achieve so much?
Not really. I knew that since I was a little kid, my mom always say, you want to achieve the moon. And that was all my ambition all these years. But getting to where I am today, to be honest, no. It was a lot of work. I know that people talk about, oh, you're lucky. But I never believe in luck. I do not believe that luck exists. I believe you create luck. You create your opportunity. You create your own life. And that is all about that I know what I did all my life, no matter where I was, which continent I was, what I did. I just, again, work hard, put my attention to where I wanted to achieve, and that was the story behind.
What are your main rules for life and tips for success?
For me, is the success, the tip, the advice I can say is mostly, and I believe you heard in the past few days about it, or yesterday, for me it's like a few days, but is kind of do what you really love to do, because it's very important. You're going to put a lot of your energy, time, if money, behind the project that you really love. And you should be, and another thing for me is important is no matter how big the challenge is, at the end of the day, every challenge is opportunity. Believe to God, sometimes I thought in my life, what if I will knew everything? What if sometimes I just say, God, give me that I go till the end and start back, you know? But then you will see that once you know something and this mystery of life will go, the mystery of challenge will go, you know, you get bored. You know, it's the drive to solve problem, to manage the challenge, to grab this, you know, going to another next opportunities is something that I really love in my life. And I believe some things that I really say to everybody who is really willing to put your time, energy, money, and put your passion behind, you will be really, really successful.
Thank you. Out of all the roles you have, which one is the most important and your favorite one?
Being a mother was the most difficult one. I remember one day I came home and Sean said, I was so upset. Why you're not doing this? Why you're not doing that? He looked at me. It was so cute. He was looking at me just said, Mom, unfortunately, you cannot fire me. I said, oh, that is really good thing to tell me. But it's a very rewarding, I can say, because, you know, I don't know why in my business I'm very comfortable. I do whatever I know what I'm doing. I love my team. I love my, and the way that I'm leading the company with my partner, we give a lot of responsibility to our team. We just say, just jump in the water, come out, and do whatever you want to do as long as is ethical, as long as is, you know, is into the line of the mission and vision of the company. But raising family, raising your kids is not an easy one. And every day you have with a different challenge. You come home and I believe, that is something, the role that I like the most, but is the most challenging for me at minimum.
Have you had any role models? Who are they?
My role model is for sure is my parents, especially my mom. She's in the audience, and she's an architect. And with my dad, the both of them, they were in Iran. They did build unbelievable high rises, great work. But I remember when we were in Iran and we were little kids, she always say that choose a profession that no matter where you go on this planet Earth, financially you will be independent and you can work as a woman. And that was always stay in our mind, and that is why all of us went to the medical field. But the day that I choose to go to the business, which is a complete different lifestyle for a woman, you're traveling a lot. Just this week, just the past 4 days, I was on Monday in Sunday I was in Miami, Monday I was in Saudi Arabia, Tuesday I was in Hong Kong, and Wednesday I came in Dubai. I did the whole world in 4 days, and every time you're going from one meeting to another. So it's not always, you do not have time to reflect, to just pause and see what's happened, what's going on. So it's not an easy job, but my mom, when I went to her, I just said, Mom, I got this opportunity to go in a business world. What do you think? She just said, you know what, do you want to go? I said, yes, Mom. But Dad was not very happy. Just say, you know what, follow your dream, follow. Just go wherever you want to go. And I'm very grateful because I could never be here without having her support, without helping me with my kids, without helping me to just be a woman and keep going no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What's the best advice you've ever received?
My partner, Bob, always told me, take a responsibility, the capacity will come. At this moment of time, I was very young when I heard that, but it really changed the way that I live my life and I run my companies. You don't know everything in your life. The only things that you know, the moment that you take a responsibility, that's the moment that all of you do everything possible to make it go right, and you become more able, not more capable to do everything possible. So that was the best advice that I ever get from someone.
Let's talk about women in business. Do you think the glass ceiling is still there?
That is a hard question for me because I know that a lot of women had a lot of different challenges in if it's any organizations. For sure, I'm coming from America right now, and corporate American is not easy. And I always was, at the beginning, the first woman or the only woman in the C-suite or in the board meetings. Right now, my company is 60% of our C-suite, they are all women. And I believe on... And I really like them because, to be honest, they come at 8 o'clock, they do their work, everything check. They have to go home. They never put a meeting at 9 o'clock in the night like all the men will ask you, hey, let's have a meeting now. It's okay, it's 9 o'clock, my kid is waiting for me. But I never saw myself into this field, is a man versus woman. I went there because I believe once you gain knowledge, you educate yourself, you know where you are going, what needed to be done. Once you win the game, doesn't matter if you're a man and woman, you will gain the respect of the man. Thank you.
Thank you. What should a woman do and what should not to build a super successful career?
You know what, one of the important things I realize when I'm talking with a lot of women, especially they are afraid to jump in the big water. They are afraid to change. They are afraid to get out of their comfort zone. One of the things here is they are not confident enough. They are not confident that they are going to make it go right. And the reality is not that the man is not able or capable or they have a lot of responsibility, but I personally believe woman is like a diamond, has a different faces. You can, and that is what I'm doing. I'm at home, I'm trying to cook, I'm trying to help Sean with his homework before, and at the same time I have meetings, I have to text message, I have to hire a person, oh, by the way, I have to do this, I have to do that. You're multitask, You have a lot of talent, you have a lot of potential. You're born with a lot of potential. You have just to trust yourself that you're going to make it go right, no matter what. And my philosophy always in life was, God will never give you more than you cannot endure. So no matter what happens, you can make it go right. You have to just you change your attitude. Thank you. Change your attitude and really jump in the water. Believe me, swim, you come out of it very successful.
So, last question. What's the most important advice you'd give to women striving for success and self-fulfillment?
As I said, I would just say, take the ownership of what you are doing, no matter what you are doing in life. You want to open a business, to start a new business, you want to have a kid, you want whatever you want in your life. Own it. Take a responsibility for it. Because have a control of your own life. And the most important, I believe, to succeed, which I believe is the most difficult one, is prioritizations of your time and energy, where you want to go, what you want to do, because you have a lot of responsibility. You are not just a businesswoman. You are not going to be just a mother. You are not just going to be a caregiver to your parents or whatever. Is at the end of the day is a multitask, and in my advice is just own it and enjoy it, because that is how you succeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Maky, for this very sincere and very emotional conversation. I need to tell you one thing. This world is so lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys, it's not enough for this conversation. Not enough.
Thank you.